Passage of House File 7.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Am I in order for a point of personal privilege?
You are in order.
This morning, I listened to the Oversight Committee, and I was extremely disappointed. First, I was disappointed by how the Ames School District staff and administrators were treated by some of the members of the Oversight Committee. I have always believed that when we invite guests into this building, there is only one rule we need to follow. It is the golden rule, and it says we will treat each other as we want to be treated. I do not believe the Ames School District personnel were treated with dignity and respect. There were emails shared with them at this meeting that they had never seen before. The interesting fact is these emails came from people in the Ames district who had never bothered to share their concerns with the administration, even though there is clearly a procedure in place for filing complaints. There were accusations against the district that were clarified and were proven to be false. I'm disappointed that these guests in our house were disrespected in this way. We can and should do better. I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and I graduated from high school in 1970. I have always believed I received a great education, but I was wrong. There was a great deal missing from the education I received in my history and social studies classes. I didn't remember learning about racial inequities in this country. I didn't remember learning about lynchings or Jim Crow laws or poll taxes or green books or Black Wall Street. I certainly did not know about the Tulsa race massacre that took place from May 31st to June 1st in 1921. Over 100 years ago, a white mob of residents from Tulsa, many of them deputized and given weapons by the city officials, attacked Black residents and businesses of the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Why? This affluent African American community was viewed as a threat to the white-dominated American capitalism. 35 city blocks went up in flames and 9,000 people became homeless overnight. This modern, majestic, sophisticated, and unapologetic Black community boasted of banks, hotels, cafes, clothiers, movie theaters, and contemporary homes, not to mention luxuries such as indoor plumbing, and a remarkable school system that superiorly educated Black children. Undoubtedly, less fortunate white neighbors resented their upper-class lifestyle, and as a result of a jealous desire to put progressive, high-achieving African Americans in their place, a wave of domestic white terrorism caused Black dispossession. Just because I didn't know about this history didn't mean it did not happen. It just meant that my education was lacking. I did not receive a comprehensive American history education regarding the inequities that have existed in this country for many, many years. I have learned a great deal since I graduated from high school. I took additional classes, I read books, and I talked to many people in the minority community. I had some great mentors in the Iowa City community. My mayor was Representative Ross Wilburn. I want to publicly thank some of the members of this body who have been my mentors. Representative Abdul Samad, Representative Gaines, Representative Smith, and Representative Thede. Thank you for your willingness to educate me. And Mayor Wilburn, thank you. You were the first mayor of Iowa City who was a Black man. So the mentoring is important. I am still learning. I hope we never close the door on this learning for any of us, for there is still so much more for us to know. Diversity training is so important. It helps us learn how to tolerate and accept the views of others who we do not always agree with. It teaches us how to treat each other with dignity and respect, and that is so very important in this day and age. But there is one more thing diversity training accomplishes. It teaches our children that adults from very diverse backgrounds can work together for the good of us all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Seeing